Hey guys, it's Jason here with the Hunting After Dark podcast. My co-host Justin Rumley. We have been a little bit out of practice here, guys, but we are going to go over a topic here, and we are going to close out 2024, even though we are getting close here to February already. But we wanted to give some highlights of things because we've got a lot of questions post SHOT Show. We are going to cover a little bit of SHOT Show things, but we kind of titled this one our thermals of 2024, and we kind of did our picks here of certain units that we liked, going all the way from 256 all the way up to 1024, what were our picks for Federal Texas Outdoors and what we thought were kind of the top units, and kind of giving the highlights of why we kind of thought those were the top units. So if you called us and you were asking for a certain unit and a certain resolution, these were probably the ones that we went to when we were on the phone.
No, absolutely. I mean, some of these units here, they're very impressive units. I mean, we've got them as low as $995, and we got them all the way up to what was $7,000, which is now $6,000 to the 1024. But I mean, just overall, these units were budget friendly. They would fit your budget. No matter if you had a high budget, low budget. Wanted 256, wanted 1024. These were just some of our favorite units that sold the best for us over the 2024 period, and we'll start with our compact series, our low end. 25-256 from AGM. This was a very, very popular unit for us. This is kind of like the entry level. Hey, I just want to go out and shoot pigs. This guy right here will get the job done for you and keep you within the $1,000 price point. But overall, I mean, it literally does everything you can think of that a $7,000 unit would do versus this $995 unit. We got video recording, has audio, multiple zeroing profiles, gets American Defense mount, got different reticle types, literally everything you can think of, this guy right here would do for you.
Yeah, the 25, 256, and the Rattler V2. Yeah, I mean, the battery longevity on these things that we told people was like, yeah, they send you 2 batteries, but you're only going to need 1.
Yeah, I mean, both batteries, it would last you at least a solid 24 hours, especially in that 24 or that 256 resolution. 24 hours is, not a question about it with the battery life.
Yeah, and I mean, then they do make it in a 19 and a lower model, but the thing is that when people started looking at $200 difference, like, well, I got a little, maybe a little more magnification to it, I get a little more distance with it. We're like, just go with the 25 256. I mean, you're just going to be a lot happier. You're not going to be second guessing it. Your next jump up's almost to $800 more, so you don't want to have to second guess it. Just usually go with the 25 256, and that's what majority of guys did, unless they just needed a lower base magnification. This was 3.5, and the 19 was 2.5. But for the most part, we sold a ton of 25 256 units to folks, and people have been happy with them. And it's the weird thing about this unit, we never have anybody come back and try to trade it back to us.
No, everybody, they understand what they're getting. They know what they're getting for the price point. It just all makes sense to them. And like Jason mentioned, we have yet to, knock on wood, have anybody come back, disappointed in the scope or wanting to get rid of it or want to trade it in. I mean, everybody's been happy with it and understood what they're getting for that price point.
Yeah, and they usually just keep it.
Yeah,
and then it becomes a handheld for them.
Yeah, they'll go in, upgrade to a 384, 640, 1024 scope, and then they'll just keep their 256 that got them into the thermal game as a scanner and, just run it like that or use it as a backup setup or turn it into
Buddy
a coon
scope
setup.
Yeah, and so these were really cool. It looks exactly like the other one down here, so I'm going to be lazy. I'm not going to pick up the other one. I'm just going to keep holding this one.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, really. I mean,
unless I pop the front cap open, then you'd be able to tell. But
yeah, we'll keep closed.
Exactly the same housing when we look at our next one, when we look at 384 in a compact. We're going to do compacts and we're going to do scope style. Yeah. So as far as a compact unit, if you called us and asked us, what was your compact $2,200 to $2,500 unit that you would go to? And we would tell everybody the one that I would go to in a compact unit would be the Rattler V2 in the 35 384. 3 base mag, good to 250 yards, with good identification. You make those shots out there. It was an awesome unit. I mean, it's still an awesome unit. I mean, nobody's really beating this one out right now as far as when you add up battery longevity, recording, video, audio, image quality. I mean, American Defense mount on there. I mean, nobody is going to be able to really beat this one out right now.
Well, for the price point too, I mean, it's just very hard to beat. I think right now it's at $2,195, and it's very impressive. You know,
I mean, everything that
you're
you
getting
get with
a good
it.
scope at the end of the day.
And let's say you probably run 5 to 6 hours on this one battery, and of course, like we said, they send you 2, so more than enough battery that you're going to need. And I like you can charge it within the unit. as well as, in the docking station. So you can leave one in the truck in the dock, swap out, and leave the other one charging. I mean, by the time you run one down, the other one be charged back up.
Yeah,
I agree 100%. So I mean, I like the big buttons on here too. It's just like on the other unit, the big raised buttons. But as far as a compact, this was the one I would recommend.
And it's for the guys too that are just, some of them want to go out and shoot pigs, and then, then they turn around and want to go shoot coyotes. This 35384 unit here is going to be ideal. Definitely can do both of those things that you're wanting to do. Now, 256, yes, you can do it, but then you have a hard time identifying. Then you start taking the risk.
As I pretty much tell nobody to go try to shoot coyotes with the 256.
There's still some guys out there that swear up and down by it. Yeah, more power to you. But if you're, if you ask our personal opinion, we're definitely going to recommend getting something at least in the 384 resolution to do any kind of varmint hunting, just so you are for sure on what you're shooting at, making sure that's a coyote, not a baby fawn or a deer or something. So it's definitely worth going into a 384 resolution in that factor. So whenever a guy's kind of saying, hey, I want to kind of do both and I want to stay within that, $200 to $2,500 price point, then hey, this Rattler V2 right here, 35384 is definitely the way to go. It can do both of those things for you without any question.
All right, we're going to move on to our scope style. This is our scope style unit that we went with. We kind of had some changes in different companies and kind of getting out of the 35-34 in a scope style unit.
Yeah.
So this is one that we're going to sit here and go through, and this is one of the Rix products. This is the Rix Leap L3. This is a unique unit here that we were able to go through. Give me just one second. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Jess. I want to stop for a second. I'm literally sweating like a monster out here.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. I'm about to die. I'm about to die on you. I'm pass out.
You're bragging about your flannel, man.
I told you, I'm probably running fever right now. I'm probably going to get you sick. I'm sweating to death underneath these lights. I'm sorry, everybody on that live, but...
Yeah, I was going to say this. Hey.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm just going to start looking like I'm lying to everybody sweating.
Hey, they was just vouching that he liked his new flannel.
It's keeping me warm. I can tell you that right now. Jessica can be mad. I'm going to be calm. Sorry, guys. It was a little goofy. Like I said, we out of practice. I'm going to freeze you out. It's just because I can hear the heater kicking on. I'm like, oh, I'm about to die. All right. I got my stuff together. Okay, so we have the Leap L3 here for our scope style unit. This is very, very popular with folks. I would say probably the biggest feature that people would ask the most about is probably just battery and how's that zoom work.
Yeah, how's the ocular zoom on that thing? Because, I mean, yeah, it is a little big, but, that's you kind of get what you can get at that point. But aside from that, I mean, everybody was like, well, what about the battery system? What about the ocular zoom? What's the functionality of it? And once you told them it's very simple to use, showed them, they liked it, showed them the ocular zoom, they were all about it.
Heck, I mean, we had a lot of older guys, to try and put these on some older bolt actions, finding their own 30 millimeter rings. I mean, heck, they didn't even know there was digital zoom. They're sitting there and just like running it like a daytime optic, and they're like, hey, man, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Works great for my eyes. And so that was really cool. I mean, of course, everyone liked the 18650 battery system here, being able to hot swap those batteries like that.
Yeah, everybody likes to be able to see their battery system. I say everybody. Most of the people wanting basically a swappable battery, they don't really like the internal battery system, so they kind of just preferred being able to see the 18650. So that was kind of another big thing with the Leap series. They were happy that they were able to swap their battery and not have to really worry about an internal battery.
$20 battery,
yeah.
$2,300 unit, $20 battery in there. Swap them out.
Yeah, and you get two of them. They are rechargeable, so
they can run external power for you guys up north that are getting the sub-degree weather for whatever reason you guys are out there. I had somebody yesterday telling me, I was like, How's that fun, man? Well, it's below zero, man. I don't know if this thermal's going to make it. And you're talking about a different thermal.
Yep.
But it's just like, I can't tell you what thermal's going to do it. It's like, I can throw it in the icebox, but I can't even get the freezer low enough to
get
go.
that cold.
To get that cold.
Yeah,
I go throw it in there for you for a couple hours and let you know. But, man, the guys do it. More power to you guys.
No. I mean, when it's that cold, hell, when it's that cold around here, we're locked up in the house. Even though they're used to it up there. Even then, you're crazy. Be out there. One bad thing happened to you, you're dead.
You're gonna freeze to death. If that truck don't start up.
Yeah, your
cell phone don't work. Cell phone battery dies because it's too cold.
I'm good.
Well, battery packs were in there, but I always tell folks, with this one is kind of unique with that was having those 18650s. You can leave them in the truck. Yep. You can leave them underneath your coat, keep them warm, keep those batteries warm, and be able to swap out if it ran 3 or 4 hours and you get 2 hours or you get 1 hour. You're doing 3 20-minute sets, and if you're super cold, no sub-degree weather kind of things, this gave you the option essentially of a quick swap of things, especially in inclement weather.
Yep.
But image quality was great. A 3-base mag.
Yeah, and it does come with a dual lever QD style mount from Rick, so you do get a mount with it. It works very well. Some guys have had bad luck, some guys have good luck. But other than that, it's been more positive than negative with it.
Yeah, a lot of people really liked these units. They were popular because you didn't have a lot of kind of options with newer 35 3D4s, but that optical zoom was kind of like their big deal that everyone was kind of talking about. But they now they have, and it's still this way as of today. You can do ballistic calculator. You can add laser rangefinder to this. Ballistic calculator you have to pay for in their app.
Yeah, I think it's $10, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I think they may have lowered it. I think it may have been $5 or something.
Yeah,
you charge it.
There is a fee though. Like Jason mentioned, you can't add the LRF to it. You can have the ballistic calculator function all set up, but just know laser rangefinder is $4.99. Then you do have to additionally purchase the ballistic calculator function in the Rix app, and it's either $5 or $10. I haven't checked in it a little bit, but I think they lowered the price down. But just know those are features that you can add to this unit that do work well. Some people, like I said, some people have good luck. Some people have bad luck. It just depends how really tech savvy you are. If you're pretty illiterate and don't really understand technology, then you're probably going to struggle with it.
No easing into it. He's just going to tell you.
Yeah, that's kind of how it is. You're going to need a little help with it, but if you understand it a little bit, know how to work an iPhone or something, then you'll be just fine.
Yeah, you can add that laser rangefinder and do all the advanced features, or you don't have to at all. Yeah. The turn dials, we're very familiar with people, turning the dials, to be able to make their adjustments for zeroing. So yeah, I don't think I've had any phone calls to anybody asking how to zero Elite.
No, I've had one. I've had one, but he didn't realize he was skipping over it. He was running through the menu and didn't realize that he had to go into the actual settings function to get into the zeroing. Once he did that, boom, he was set. He was ready to go. So that wasn't a problem at all.
All right, we're kicking this one to the curb.
Yeah, get out of here. Turn it into a hammer.
All right. So, guys that wanted to hop up in the 640, sometimes we had a lot of 640s this year coming in at $4,000 or $4,500, and we had some people say, I want to get into 640, but that's a great price on the 4,000, but I want something a little bit more. I want to have kind of the advanced features. I want to be a varmint hunter. I want to go do this.
Yeah.
I want to do awesome image quality. That would be our Infra Outdoor RH50R. This unit has integrated laser rangefinder in it, and as you can see, I did drop this unit and still went and did the full field test of the RH50R, road rashing the side of my scope. So everybody that comes in here gets to hear the whole story.
Yeah.
When they look at an RH50R, that this thing is durable, it can take a beating, and case in point, I will test products for you. You do not have to worry. But our RH50R was a lot of advanced feature, ballistic calculator built in. They had new pallets when they went over here, this Mark II. HD display, so we're 2560 by 2560 in this Ultra HD display now. And then they changed their zoom from their Mark I's where you used to have to push these buttons. Now they kind of went to the variable zoom here at the eyepiece where you got the little lever, kind of like the little throw lever kind of style. and people really liked that. I think the first batch that came out had some issues with theirs, and then
Yes.
after that first batch, they had to fix some things here. I guess there was something going on with this little.
Yeah, they were calling it their zoom encoder. It was, I want to say it was getting stuck, or I can't remember the proper terminology they used, but just know that that issue is fixed. So if you're in the market for an RH50R, that's not something you're going to have to worry about because they've got that issue resolved.
Yeah,
And they do have a
5-year
fix.
warranty. Yeah, 5-year warranty, and they had fixed everybody's units. We had a couple of our guys pick up a couple of those out of the first batch, and all their units are all fixed now. I mean,
Yeah.
but mine never had nothing. Maybe because I jammed it in there real good.
That,
And it
or
took a hit.
maybe that fall on the road.
Yeah,
fixed it.
we knocked it. Yeah, we knocked it. We knocked it
Yeah.
straightened it back out. But no, so if you do see something like that online, know that that's no longer the case anymore. This is still one of the most popular units that we're barely able to keep in stock. Is still this RH50R battery system. They give you 2 batteries. That battery pack, 5 to 6 hours on that battery pack system there. Dual lever mount. We didn't really, we had one person ask us to upgrade the mount. Otherwise, everyone has just been staying with the standard mount that's on here.
Yeah, there's been maybe a handful of guys that have wanted to go to a different style mount because they're putting on the bolt action. But even then, on most bolt
I
actions,
mean, look at that eye relief on there. I mean,
yeah,
it's
even
still
with
really good.
most bolt actions, it's enough eye relief. But just know there is an aftermarket mount out there that if you do want more extended eye relief, then there is that option out there. So
Yeah, and we can get you set up. If you get the RH50R from us, we'll help you out because we keep those for our customers and make sure they get all set. But awesome scope. That was really cool. Image
yeah,
quality.
absolutely. And then it has a ballistic calculator function in there. And this one's a lot simpler to set up because all you do is go inside the scope, put in your ballistic data, and input it, save it. And then all you do is, since the LRF is built in, all you do is get you a single range. It'll do all the functioning calculation for you, give you a holdover point, and you put that holdover point on your target, squeeze the trigger, and it's going to hit.
Yeah, even from our field test, they did an update on this unit. When we had this unit, the only way that it did bullet drop, it would just do the X. It would put an X of where the bullet drop point was.
Yeah.
But now there's actually a setting where you can go in and set it to where it actually moves the crosshair,
Yeah.
which is not my preference.
Yeah, I don't know if
Some people ask for it, but
yeah, it's just one of them deals. Just know that you do have options out there if you did want that the whole reticle to adjust for you, or your reticle stays the same and they give you that holdover point. You do have options there, but I think I would prefer the holdover point.
yeah, I like the holdover point just in case I miss or move or something like that. I'm not having to try to get it to recalculate for me.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I mean, some people have big open areas and probably better shot than I am, and so they probably don't have any problems with that at all. I do like the icon that they use instead of the traditional box square. They
Yes.
use the little blue star, I kind of call it.
Yeah, I mean it's like a circle with wings. That's what it looks
Yeah,
like to me.
yeah.
It's weird, but hey, it works.
It's the Bentley symbol or whatever. A Genesis, what is it?
Something, I
Genesis
don't
got like
know.
the little circle with the wings on it or whatever.
Yeah,
a
something
little car
goofy.
emblem. But no, this unit was really, really cool as far as your 50 millimeter 640 units go. They do make one in a 42 millimeter in the 3D4. It is a 4 base. So for us, we didn't have a whole lot of guys that really wanted the 4 base.
Yeah.
A lot of them would kind of upgrade and say, I want a 3 base 50 millimeter 640. But we had a couple that hop in there anymore.
Yeah, I
up in
mean
the
it's
Midwest.
a great 384 thermal as well, and the same has the same features: built-in rangefinder, ballistic calculator, all the bells and whistles you can think of. So just know there is options out there with the same specs or same details as the RH50R. You're just going to be in a 42 384 sensor.
But yeah, these Mark IIs, they are going to continue, I believe, to advance this model and series. So I don't know. They did not announce anything at SHOT Show, but we may potentially see it in a 75,
Yeah.
which I would assume probably a 4 base mag. We might see it. We'll
knows?
talk
I mean-
about some future stuff here after we get after our last one.
Yeah, there's some different options out there that are, possibly going to take to market, but who knows? It's thermal industry that changes every day.
I'm gonna let you do this one since this is one of your personal units that
Yeah.
you like to use. I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, no, this one's definitely one of my favorites. To me, it's still the top dog out there. There's nothing out there that's even going to come close to touching this guy. But this one's going to be the Infrared Outdoor Bolt TX60C. It's going to be a 60 mil sensor, 1024 resolution. This one's going to be in your traditional tube style, which I'm definitely a fan favorite of because I mainly run bolt action. So I just went ahead and got me some 30 mil scope rings, mounted it permanently, got it all set. So I know I'm all dialed in. So we got a tournament coming up this weekend. I'm going to go take me a reassurance shot, make sure everything's nice and grouped in still. But like I said, I haven't had any issues with that being an issue. So just know this one's definitely my favorite, one of the top dogs, 1024 resolution. Don't have any issues, on image quality out to 400 or 500 yards, being able to identify what you're looking at. Has the internal battery system. You're looking roughly 5 to 6 hours off of full internal battery system charge. And then you have the 18650 option as well. So the difference on this Bolt series is they went ahead and built in the Bolt extender, so you don't have to worry about any 18500 batteries. It's already ready to take 18650 batteries, and you're looking at roughly another hour to 2 hours of solid runtime with the 18650 battery. So ideally, with the full internal battery system charge and the 18650, you're looking somewhere roughly 7 to 8 hours. Very easy to operate. This top turret is going to basically be your functioning, your magnification. Hold it down, takes you into your menu. But overall, has all the bells and whistles you could think of. But overall, I'm just strictly about image quality. I don't care about the rangefinder. Like I tell people, if I see the animal, I'm going to damn sure take a shot at it, whether I hit it or not. If it's 600 yards, I'm still going to, it's top of the spine and pull the trigger and see what happens. But it's one of them deals. Like I tell guys, you've been doing it long enough. You've been playing with thermals long enough. You kind of learn your depth perception and know, hey, that coyote's out there pretty far. Or, hey, no, he looks far, but he's probably 100, 150 yards in on me.
He's looking pretty blurry. I probably shouldn't shoot.
Yeah, or all right, maybe I should aim top of the spine, squeeze, or hey, hell, he's looking square at you. Aim at the head and he might hit chest. Type of deal.
Someone gave me a hard time that I didn't use a ballistic calculator on one. I was like, I got the ranges that were giving me continuous ranges, and I shot, and just had it on their spine, put it on there, no bullet drop point, nothing. I was just like, well, rangefinder. I mean, you can trust ballistic calculator, it's great, but sometimes I still like to do things on the fly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm the same way. Like people always ask me, well, do you like a rangefinder? I say, well, if I see the animal, I'm shooting him no matter if he's out there or not. Nobody gets free passes.
Rangefinders are great, but the thing is, think about it. You miss a coyote or you spook a coyote, they sit up there and they give you that one last little broadside shot, give you that one little look.
That's it.
They do it for a second and then they're gone. It. Yeah, it's just like, I ain't got no chances.
Yeah. No, hell, like I said, the more you hunt with a thermal, the more you kind of understand your depth perception and how to judge distance inside of a thermal. Hell, just getting into it myself, I had no clue. I still remember the first time I ever hunted with a thermal. I was trying to shoot a coyote at 300 yards, and I thought he was 100. And I'm like, oh, this ain't gonna work. Yeah, then just over time, you get used to it. You start understanding it, and it just makes it a little bit easier. So I prefer straight image quality and clarity over anything with a rangefinder. But
I mean, when we have
getting into some of the new products, I will say when the higher resolutions come in with the rangefinder, I'm gonna definitely be a fan of it.
So did you use you used the relocation deals and
some
different things, didn't you, for the TX60?
Yeah, so I did have the rangefinder all set up on it. My problem is it was always dead. So my battery was always dead. So
you didn't know how to change some batteries out?
Yeah, I just said, screw it. I don't really care. I mean, I had it all set up, and all I have to do is put it back on. And
you had the unicorn horn little battery extender on it, too.
Yeah, that thing was still dead.
You forget to change them out?
Yes, that was kind of the final draw for me. I put the battery extender. Yeah, I put the battery extender on there, ran the 16650 battery, got out there, turned it on, and it flashed red at me. And I'm like, well, shit.
You gotta charge your shit every once in a while.
Yeah, as long as the scope power's on, that's all I care about. Like I said, at the end of the day,
used to
I'm
that longevity
anyway.
Of the scope and not paying attention to the laser rangefinder.
So it's not the functionality didn't work of the rangefinder, because I know it did, because I got it all set up and I knew it was running. And then after that, when it got time to get into the field, then that sucker was dead, and I just said, screw it. I'm done with it.
Well, I didn't. When I ran it, I didn't run mine with laser rangefinder. Mm-hmm. I mean, but what I did, I did like about this unit is we're getting into some things that are going to get into real debates here, which will kind of transition us into new products. Is when we look at resolution and base magnifications. One thing that I will comment is nobody's asked to send back their TX60 or trade their TX60.
Everybody
They're
loves
like,
their
no,
TX60,
this is just
man.
not really what I was expecting. I think there's another product I want to go to.
No, there's no way.
I'm not going to call any products out by name, but nobody's swapping from a TX60 to something else, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. The quality, you're gonna maintain that quality. I mean, there are some other products coming out, but I'm going to tell you right now, you're still going to be perfectly happy unless you just absolutely want some integrated laser rangefinder with that.
That's
Your
the only
TX60
takeaway.
is awesome. I mean, right now they're doing $6,000 right now for these.
$6,000, and they're giving you the free LRF. That's a crazy thing. But if you're just looking for straight image quality, clarity, badass image, this is the way to go.
Yeah, I mean, we would zoom it up. I mean, you see little image degradation. You know, when you look at now, don't hold me to it. It's less than 18 millikelvin on the TX60.
Correct. Yes.
And so when you're zooming in, you're seeing little image degradation with a 60 millimeter sensor, and you're going in. You start at a 3 base, and you're just like, I'm zooming. It's like, yeah, I can see the image degrade just a little bit, but it's not huge leap and bounds. You're not just immediately dropping off. And we've seen other products try to compete in this space where we would see that image quality immediately drop off. No. And we do not see that with the TX60.
No, I can go from 3 to 12 power on this guy and not really tell a difference. I mean, some people argue with I mean, you can definitely see it, but at the end of the day, it's like, come on, dude.
Nothing dramatic like we're used to seeing.
You know, obviously there is going to be a change. You know, we get that, but compare it to its competing product, go up to 12 power and tell me that you notice that which one has the better image at 12 power. You know, it's going to be blatantly obvious that you're going to see it. You know, with this guy, 3 to 12, that's usually what I stay in. If I'm not running the picture-in-picture, it just depends on what I'm wanting to do that night. I mean, I have no preference. I just run it to run it. I mean, it just really depends.
I mean, it's an awesome unit. So we're going to transition now into looking into what some of the new stuff is, what's coming out. But there's going to be kind of a debate here. And we're looking at, and it's kind of this product is going to be one to where do you upgrade or not upgrade, or do you just go pay your $6,000? Laser rangefinder is going to be integrated laser rangefinder is going to be a debate, but also 3 base at 1024.
Yeah.
Or do you do 1280 at a 2 base? That will be probably the biggest debate you're going to see in higher resolutions here for 2025.
The only way it's going to be beneficial is I've talked to a couple guys who are already going to upgrade to a 1280, and it's simply for the fact of they want a 2 base. They don't care about
they
a 3
want
base.
a 2 base, so they're wanting a wider field of view. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to have to decide of kind of what they want. You're going to have to kind of sacrifice some LRF, base mag. It's going to be a constant debate. I mean, it's something that we'll probably be spending so much time on the phone talking about is which way to really go.
Yeah.
Image quality is very important to people. When we get into some of these new products that are be coming out, Infra Outdoor and Knockpix are together, working together under IRIOSA, and they're just distributors here in the U.S. They are launching a new product, which is probably the ones we've been having the most calls about. They are not available yet. Don't call. It is not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah.
People are thinking if they do show up early, if they show up early, you know what? You will be super excited they show up early, but do not get your expectations that you're going to get this soon. So
I agree with
you. It's like trying to set that for everybody that they are not immediately. I don't even have one, guys. We don't even have one to prototype or field test yet. So we have not even got it out into the field besides seeing one unit at SHOT Show. So just know that's kind of where we are in that process. I don't think they're going to be available next week.
Yeah.
That being said, we go into the S60R. We got to spend some time with Matt over there with IRIOSA, who does a lot of their product testing and marketing. And we were talking about the new Knockpix Ace in the 1280, which would be the let's see if I get the models right now. S60R. And so they will do it rangefinder unit only, integrated into the front bell, just like the Ace H50R. We're going to run the same way. Now it is 2 base 1280. You've kind of seen some things probably online kind of sneak in there. I know the owner Tyler's kind of snuck in a couple little 1280 clips here and there. But we look at the Ace having a ocular zoom or magnifier. I always say magnifier in the eyepiece, so that we don't get real technical with people. But it's got a magnifier in the eyepiece, so you can zoom up to the screen.
Absolutely.
So 2 base, but if you can magnify to the screen, you are going towards the isometric center when you are zooming into that. Even with the Ace, they actually repositioned their LRF from the top right actually to the center now for that reason, so that you can maintain that within that magnifier window. That was kind of cool. They did that software update after we launched in the US, so if some people still have that, know that you can still update your scope and change that with their update for the Ace. So they did that so that you could kind of get around the 2 base. Like I said, we haven't had a lot of time to do that, to kind of test that theory of magnifying up to the display of a 1280 resolution sensor with a 2560 by 2560 display. So, you do have a huge display, a very detailed display, and some people that may get aggravating magnifying, some people may not care. It's going to be kind of an interesting deal of just what people's preferences are.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it all comes down to, is what do you want? What do you want inside the scope? What do you prefer? And then there's tons of options out there. I mean, you can find something that you're wanting to meet your specific needs inside of a scope.
So we are debating about higher end resolutions, because I think that was probably the most talked about subject at SHOT Show, post SHOT Show, of what is releasing. Going over the S60R being a potential, being kind of your top dog here at the 1280. No more RS75s; those are done. We are now looking at $7,000 1280s with Ultra HD displays. It's getting to be interesting, because they are actually not the only company that launched a 1280.
Yeah.
Now, Justin and I did get the chance of running AGM's new 1280 units in the Evolver and in their Adder V2. Now, me being an AR guy, I like the Evolver. The Evolver 1280 was a 2.5 base 60 millimeter unit as well, with integrated laser rangefinder, kind of built off of the Rattler 2 body style.
Yeah.
And so the bump out LRF on the side.
Yeah, and then they had the Rattler battery system in it as well.
Rattler battery system. So I like that. It was a cool unit to run. We had it for a while, and we had a lot of fun with it. And I've seen some debates on people kind of said, oh, the image quality. Well, I'm posting some videos that were just not ideal videos, but we're posting it just to show running shots with it. How fast you can process, because that's always the question with 1280 is how fast the processor is, running and things like that when you're comparing units head to head. But it's like I shot that coyote. I mean, you were with me that night I shot that coyote running when I was all pissed off and cussing out the coyote, and I missed.
Because you couldn't hit him when he was standing still.
Couldn't hit him standing still, but you get him running, I'll get him on the run, no problem.
Right. So you gotta scare him and get him moving.
Throw enough bullets, eventually they go down.
That's right.
But yeah, so I did have a lot of fun running the Evolver as a compact unit. It was new for AGM to go into the higher resolutions. Our newest episode on Hunting After Dark TV, we were actually going. When I went through it, I kind of spliced, one episode of where you and I were both in the cornfield of those 2 huge pigs over there off the river. I don't want to say exactly where we were hunting, but
yeah, I think so.
It's where you had to go shoot that sow in the mesquite trees with the 22.
Oh yeah.
So that night I was actually running the Evolver, and that's where we were running around. We had no handhelds, and we're running around with 384 handhelds, and I turned that 1280 on. I'm like, no, those are pigs.
Yeah, it's like holy crap. You can definitely tell you're so much more detailed, and going from a 384, you're like quadrupling your resolution. So it was a no-brainer.
But that night, we're gonna have that Evolver footage actually go up on Pursuit. So that footage will actually end up on there, because when I was going through it, I forgot that we'd actually did that with the Evolver. So I added that to our other episode. We were a little short, so I kind of tagged that one on. Did a pre-harvest, post-harvest video.
That'd be pretty cool.
And so, but no, the Evolver made it into there. But I mean, it was where that pig was coming straight to us.
And it looked good.
Yeah, I mean, that 1280, good. I mean, he was sitting there right in front of our face. You could just see every muscle movement, every hair. You could see his eyes. I mean, it's the detail, just the extreme detail on that video. And then we shot him as I was running that 22 arc, and I'd shot him on the run. I shot him once, and I mean, he was a good hit. He would have fell out, but just for footage and things like that, you go ahead and throw a second round just so you can see him spin out, and fall out and things like that. But I will tell you that unit was really cool. Just from my own personal perspective of being an AR guy, having something as compact as 1280, because traditionally those were massive units, or they were just in the scope style.
Yeah.
So cool unit, but those are actually going to be available. I think they just charged us for them.
Yeah, so they'll be available probably this week.
Yeah, next week. Probably next week.
Yeah.
They ship it tomorrow or something. That we have it.
Be pretty dang close.
But no, those units are going to be available immediately. I think that will be the first one AGM has available. It's going to be those new Evolvers. So they're pretty cool. But man, I will tell you, man, on the social media, talking about this stuff like we're talking about right now, oh man, everybody's getting brutal with each other. I'm just like, here, I'm going to go put up some test footage. Here's this. Make up your mind. I was like, it's still better than 640. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Why are we sitting here fighting about this stuff?
About it, and it's just a big fight. And it's just like at the end of the day, you settle for what you can.
You're going to spend $7,000 no matter what, whichever way you go. And you're going to say, oh, man, we're going to fight about this. Like, well, you know what? I want it in a compact. I want a compact 1280. You
get a compact or you get a tube style, whatever you prefer.
And so, guys that are wanting to go out there and shoot pigs, shoot farmers, did it with both. I mean, it wasn't like some big, major, huge difference. I mean, but it's just, what are you going to prefer? And what your preference is going to be in some of these units. But at our V2, we did get a prototype unit. That prototype was, we didn't get to kind of like finish it off as much as I liked
we didn't get too much time behind it, but we did get some, and
we got some cool shots.
Yeah, the time we did get behind it, it was great. I mean, I saved Jason's life with it that one night with it.
Hey, that video is supposed to go on social today.
Yeah, so he was he was catching a piglet, and I was recording him through the binoculars, and he was like, "Hey, pig," and I'm, "What are you talking about?" And then so I finally catch a glimpse of the. It was actually a big boar, and I caught a glimpse of the binoculars, so I threw the binoculars down and got on the gun, and it just so happened to be that or V2 1280 that I was shooting that night. And it was a pretty cool running shot. The pig comes out of the brush where Jason was, and he's headed out the opposite direction, and hit a running shot on him. And it was pretty cool because, I mean, there was at least a good 2 seconds of me just kind of tracking him on the run and getting squared up, and then boom, I shoot him, and he folds up, so there wasn't a problem making a good running shot on him.
Yeah, that's the only time I think I've been scared. I'm sitting there with your little pin light, and then I'm on top of this little piglet, and I hear something brushing behind me, and I was like, oh, I'm about to get gored in the back by this sow that's going to come protect her piglet. Turn around, hit him with that light, then he spun and went the other direction. I yelled for Justin to shoot. I thought it was the sow, but it was a boar, I guess, just bedded down, was hiding back there where those piglets were running to. But I've never been scared in my life, sitting there in complete darkness on top of this piglet, just, please, Justin. Yeah. I'm like, you hear me. You're going to hear me. We're going to post it on Facebook and everything today. Would you hear me scream for Justin? Because I have nothing but my phone, a phone and a pin light, and that is it. And I'm sitting there holding this piglet, thinking I'm about to just get tore up. But, yeah, that was a fun story. But, But even, I mean, that was with the Adder V2. I mean, we've had a lot of fun with that Adder V2. Not sitting there thinking we only had a short amount of time. But the last night I had to sneak out by myself.
Yeah.
And saw a coyote in a field. It's like, man, by the time I set up, I'm gonna probably spook these guys out. So I get up in the high rack by myself and put through the call out there kind of close, and end up calling 3 in. Ended up shooting 2 of the 3. And, there's cows kind of moving around, but then it's kind of like the clouds parted. It was just this perfect situation where they weren't really paying attention. Nice big open field, shoot one at like 150 and then shoot another one at almost 300. Yeah. And that was that that clip ended up going viral, which we were surprised that we had like 5.4 million views on that one clip alone or something.
Yeah, it went crazy out there.
I just thought that was just kind of just a simple clip.
Yeah.
And the image quality on it was great. And I had a couple people try to say something about the image. Oh, man, it should be better than that. I'm like,
you don't realize that the distances that
it looks like it's close.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's not close. The first shot was over 150, and I'm in an elevated position a little bit from there. And so it was kind of an interesting debate there where I had some people online saying something. I'm like, listen, usually you're going to start seeing more footage. We're going to release more footage. This is an awesome scope.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did a really good job revamping Adder V2. I'm curious to see we only got to see a couple models, and I want to see what those other models like in the 640 and 3D4 and what we're going to see with Adder V2 relaunching all with their brand new sensor. And then Ultra HD displays at 2560 by 2560 as well.
It's going to be very impressive.
2.5 base magnification on Evolver and Adder V2 in the 1280. So both the 1280 units are going to be 2.5.
That's going to be a big deal, a very big deal.
And I like the V2. I ran on an AR, always ran on an AR. Just kind of like it would be better on a bolt action, but I still ran it on an AR and was perfectly fine. I just preferred that compactness. But that Adder V2, they're still running. So we ran 18650 and internal battery system on the Adder V2s.
Correct. Yes, sir. And it worked great. I'm pretty sure I only charged the internal battery a couple times, and then I'm pretty sure I only ran it on an 18650 battery and had zero issues with either option that I chose to run on. Both worked great.
And they're launching their new Adder V2 series. If they are a 50 millimeter or above, the laser rangefinder will be in the front bell. If they're 35s, they're going to have like a little hood over top, kind of a little tent over top for their LRF. But the 1280 had it integrated into the front sensor.
Yeah, you're getting built-in LRF unit either way you go. Whether you're going 35 or going all the way up to 60. You're getting.
So they're going to go full force with those. Those will be available in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Looks like we probably already got some coming across. I got to see messages from the rep here. I guess we're recording with my phone. I can't check, but on what is coming our way now. But so we got Knockpix, we got AGM. Man, I'm sorry, I'm so dry. You have to talk for me.
Yeah, Knockpix is coming out with some new things. AGM came out with some new things.
So it's kind of like the Ace H50, which is not, H50R is available now, so no LRF.
So basically, you could say, I wouldn't even compare it to the TH50C because there's some more features.
Upgrades to those units.
The H50 is the TH50 replacement, and then the L35 from Knockpix will be the TL35
and meeting with Matt, we the international side has a 4-base. They say that the production model will be a 3-base. So we're curious to see how that's going to look, because the unit we looked at, I believe, was 4-base. And so we do want to see what that looks like, but that's going to be something new. So this is going to be kind of the year, I think, for the scope style units.
Yeah.
The year of the scope style, the year of the bolt action guys.
Hey,
so, y'all go to hell. It was last year, I guess, was all the Rattler V2 stuff.
That's right.
So now I get to have at least one compact unit for my AR, but it is going to be the battle of the scope style units this year. And then Rick's did their DBH D6. They changed the name on me, so forgive me if I screwed the name up.
D60, I think. DBH D60. Something like that.
I can't. When you change the names on me, you're going to screw me up.
Yeah. But it's a 60 mil sensor, 640 resolution. It's a compact style unit with a built-in laser rangefinder and running off of two 18650 batteries. We got a little bit of time behind it. Didn't get too much, but the short amount of time we'd had, it was a good unit. Like I said, once we get more inventory, I think those units will actually be here today. We'll break a box open and get to play with it a little bit more, but didn't have too much time behind it. But with the little bit we did, it was an impressive unit with the built-in laser rangefinder. Has the ballistic calculator functions, all the bells and whistles you can think of inside of it. So just know that Rick's does have a new unit coming out. I think we'll actually have those packages here today.
They're available now. We're already sending some out. So those are available. So that's probably the first SHOT Show release that's going to be here. We'll be here today. So no, it was an interesting SHOT Show. There was a lot of new companies trying to get out. There is one that we may be bringing on board that we're going to kind of test the waters with. The rep was texting me today. So they're actually going to send us a couple of different units. I'm pretty comfortable in announcing that we may be bringing on D&D optics to our portfolio of stuff. But with every company, I don't always offer every single product that somebody has. I I kind of like to nitpick little things here and there. Like, I like this unit. I like this unit of your products. And I think these are ones that my customers would like. And these are the ones that I'd recommend. And so we may bring it on full line. We may just be bringing on a couple units. It just kind of depends on how our field test goes. We kind of get behind, things that we field test. And so they were open to get some things heading our way to where we'll go out there and field test those units and see what they look like. If they're up to spec with what everything else is in the industry. We don't sell people crap.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's why we don't sell no ATN over here.
That's right.
We
keep them at
sell,
their stores.
Yeah, we sell you units that we literally have gone out in the field, beat up, and took out, and field tested, and that's what we pride ourselves here at Feral Texas Outdoors, and also here at the Hunting After Dark podcast. Is you have two guys here hunting. I had somebody thank me today. Said I wanted to talk to somebody that wasn't just trying to sell me something, that actually has worked behind these optics, and I said, well, man, look no further. I'm the fat dude in the videos, Said the skinny guy's Justin. Right. My son, Justin. Everyone thinks he's my kid. I was like, well, I'm not that old. I guess I'm looking like crap lately.
Yeah, everybody thinks Jason's my dad just because my mom, but no. They really do. They were like, you work, is that your parents? I'm like, no, I work here.
I'm really old.
Yeah, and I'm like, and they're like,
Sammy's my sister. And she's actually my daughter.
Yeah, I got a hot wife, guys. I got one of them hot cougar wives. I'm sorry, guys.
And they're like, oh, sorry. I'm like, yeah, they're not my parents, and they just like freak out. And they're just, people are crazy.
I was like, no, I have not been dyeing any facial hair yet. Jessica will find one hair every once in a while.
He's not dyeing it, but he's got a Sharpie pin in the back.
Yeah. It's just like, hold on.
Yeah.
Get that cocoa brown or whatever it is, or black, whatever that color is. Get a touch of gray. But no, I'm not that distinguished just yet. I need to get a haircut. I thought I was going to go bald first before gray, but I will tell you, hair transplants are awesome.
Yeah,
I will give my secrets away. I do not care. I will tell you, that was probably the best couple $1,000s I ever spent.
Couple thousand.
Yeah, that's all they need to know.
Yeah. I will tell you, I wasn't too vain, but I thought there for a while I was going to go pretty bald, but no, I saved myself. A little bit more than anybody probably ever wanted to know. But we have a lot of fun over here. You give us a call. Absolutely. You come in here in the store. It's the same thing. You're going to get the same stuff that you're hearing right now. As we're gonna shoot you straight on stuff. We're going to joke with you. We're going to mess with you. I had somebody, asking about, Fat Boy tripods. I mean, those things have been so popular. We sell a bunch of those as ones we recommend. Casey and Connor over there do a really good job. And those guys always mess with me. And, it's just we were short on some tripods, but we had all the ball heads. Somebody was asking me, and it's like, he goes, you got those ball heads? Yeah, I said, yeah, man, just like how it always is. Got plenty of head, but just trying to get some legs, man.
That's right.
And I will tell you, geez, hey, it's what it really is, man. We're gonna have a little bit of fun with you. We're gonna poke at you, and this year, you'll see us online, and some of us may, get to talking and fighting. What?
It says your live will end in 5 minutes.
Okay, that's good. That's all we need. But, we talk a bunch of trash to people, and we mess with people, and they come in the store, and they mess with us, and we have a great time over here. But, here with SHOT Show and new releases and things coming out here in 2025, you're going to see a lot of debates. Give us a call. If you want to talk about these units, Justin and I will tell you, this is what we've seen. This is what we have observed. We always have these things out in the field, and we'll tell you an honest opinion about it. It's absolutely. Like a lot of it's going to come down to your preference, and we can walk through all that with you, what you want in a thermal unit. But it will be a crazy here in 2025 with brand new, all new units. We're going to be testing a bunch of stuff. We just went over the scopes. We didn't even get into any of the handheld stuff. The handheld stuff's going to be kind of crazy too, because they did get a video of me chasing the pig with a brand new 35-640 unit that AGM has in binos, and those things were very detailed. So you had a very detailed image of me running around, jumping and diving on piglets. So
that's right.
We're always going to have fun with all that kind of stuff, guys. When we go out there and field test, and we put everything up, we don't hold anything back. I even put my misses on there. I even put like the crappy 90% humidity nights. We put that in there for everybody to be able to see. And I won't tell you we're always going to be clean in those videos, because I will throw some curse words out
some
there.
Beeps and bleeps.
Yeah, so we'll bleep everything out for you guys. But if you always have questions with us, guys, or you have comments or even some input into topics, we kind of wanted to close out our 2024 here as we get into 2025 here with our podcast. So we're always open to recommendations, so please send those to us, and I'll let Justin close us out here for for this one.
Yeah, be sure to check us out on Apple and Spotify podcasts at Hunting After Dark Podcast. Check us out on the YouTube page at Hunting After Dark Podcast. And check us out on our website at huntingafterdarkpodcast.com. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.